If you want to achieve a well-organized, tidy home this year, but you just don't have the time for hour-long sessions, focus on these very, very simple, low-stress, low-overwhelm micro habits. Hi, I'm Margo. I'm a home organization and decluttering coach teaching you how to get rid of the stuff that you don't love, want, or need. So if you love practical advice, hit the subscribe button. So let's jump into micro habit number 1, and it is the spot and toss rule. What it means is that every single time you see an item that you don't love, want, or need, instead of leaving it there, get rid of it. So these are 1-second decisions. Think of it as getting rid of possibly one item a day. So for example, you're sitting on your couch, you're watching Netflix, maybe it's the new season of Stranger Things, which I loved, by the way, and you look to your left at your bookshelf and you see a burnt out candle or a book that you opened, read the first chapter and you were like, this sucks, right? And then you put it back on your shelf, right? Or you kept that burnt out candle. I have no idea why we do that. I used to do that in the past as well. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. So you look to the left, you look at your bookshelf and you're like, I don't need this. Instead of leaving it there for another day, right? Get up, pick it up, and then trash or recycle it. The same thing applies to us ladies when we are getting ready in the morning and we're doing our makeup or our hair. How many times do we encounter an eyeshadow palette or a mascara that's dried up or a lotion that maybe somebody gifted us and it's not really good for our skin? It is just sitting there. And we're always like, yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get rid of it. Well, the spot and toss method is if you're already doing the work and you've touched it, you've seen it, instead of putting it back, let it go. Another example is, let's say you're in your kitchen, you're cooking, you pop open your cabinet, you spot a plate that's maybe chipped, that you never put out, that you never eat from. Instead of being like, oh, okay, and you kind of just leave it there and take out the plates that you use, pick it up and get rid of it. So get into the habit of every single time you spot an item that you know you don't love, need, or want. These are 1-second decisions. They're low stress, low overwhelm. You have already decided in your mind that you don't want this item. You just haven't taken the action to actually let it go. So every time you encounter, every time you touch an item, every time you see an item that you don't need, love, or want, that doesn't belong in your home, instead of putting it back or leaving it where it is, trash, recycle, or donate. A great way to actually apply this micro habit is to your wardrobe. Ladies, many of us have a ton of clothing. You know, we have that moment where we're standing in front of our closet and we're like, I have nothing to wear. Meanwhile, it's like the abyss in there. Like there's just so much stuff. Chances are a lot of the stuff has price tags on them. You never wore it. Many of the items you're like, what was I thinking when I bought it? A lot of the items are incredibly uncomfortable. We have a lot of clothing in our wardrobe, and our wardrobes and our closet tend to be one of the more difficult things to declutter. It's past self, fantasy self. There's so many different reasons. There's a lot of guilt items in there as well. There's a lot of just in case items in there. So it becomes very, very difficult. I never advise my clients to start with their wardrobe, especially if they're brand new to decluttering. You kind of want to work your way up to that. But a great spot and toss method to declutter your closet is to place a bag, bin, or box in your closet or next to it. And every single time you're getting ready in the morning or in the afternoon, or you're getting ready on the weekend to go out, every single time you pull out an item and you look at it and you're just like, I'm never going to wear this. What was I thinking when I bought it? Instead of putting it back in your closet, toss it in the back bin or box. And you're gonna keep doing this every single time. Again, it's a spot and toss. These are 1-second decisions, but you're gonna get rid of so much stuff stress-free. And once that bag, bin, or box gets full, then that becomes your donation bin and you start all over again. So again, this is very simple, very low stress, very, very low overwhelm. Yes, it's gonna take more time than, let's say, if you're sitting down for a 2-hour decluttering session, but at the end of the day, who the heck has time for that, okay? So try the spot and toss micro habit. Okay, the next rule is, or the next micro habit, and this is something I have stood behind and lived by for 10 years minimum, and it is the 1 in, 1 out rule. Whoever came up with this rule is absolutely brilliant. I give a lot of credit to you. The 1 in and 1 out rule. And what this means is that every time you bring in a new item, you let go of an item that's the same or similar. So what does this look like in practice? You went shopping, you decided to buy a sweater. You bring the sweater home, get rid of an existing sweater. Yes, you probably have one that is like past its prime, okay? Every single time, let's say you went to Home Goods, right? And you browsing the aisles and you spotted an incredible coffee mug, and at home you already have like 20, okay? I'm not knocking you, I understand, okay? Those coffee mugs are absolutely beautiful, but like how many of them do you actually use? But that's not the point of this video, okay? This is supposed to be simple micro habits. So you brought in a brand new coffee mug, open your cabinet and get rid of an existing coffee mug. I'm not telling you to get rid of 10. You bought a pair of jeans, you bring it home, get rid of an existing pair, right? And this applies to every single time you shop. Something new comes in, something old makes its way out. Now, if you want to step it up a notch, and when I started decluttering many years ago, I actually didn't do 1 in, 1 out. I did 1 in and sometimes 2 to 5 out. Now, again, you don't have to. 1 in, 1 out is perfectly fine, but it maintains your clutter. It doesn't decrease it as much, right? But it's a wonderful micro habit to build, especially when you start to declutter more and more. So I used to do 1 in, 3 to 5 out. So again, I would bring in a t-shirt, 3 to 5 t-shirts would leave the house, and so on and so forth. And why? It's because in the beginning, I had a lot of clutter. There was a lot of stuff to get rid of. Now, I mean, in all honesty, I don't have that much. When it comes to my wardrobe, I'm actually a wardrobe minimalist. People laugh. They're like, I only have a week's worth of clothing. My daughter also only has a week's worth of clothing. Yes, we have to do laundry every week. Otherwise, we have nothing to wear. And some people think that that is incredibly atomic. To be fully transparent, I don't like decision fatigue. I make many decisions throughout the day, and I really like to cut down on decisions that I don't necessarily need to make. And this is why, number 1, I only own a week's worth of clothing. Number 2, my clothing kind of repeats itself. So I have 2 pairs of the same pants. I have 3 of like the same t-shirts, right? And again, this eliminates decision fatigue. I can comfortably close my eyes, go into my dresser drawer and pick out an item, and I'd be more than happy to wear it. Now, it took me a very long time to get to this point, but I started with a box, bag, or bin in my wardrobe, right? Kind of picking things up and going, I don't want to wear this, and dropping it in the bin, following the 1 in, 3 to 5 out rule. But the 1 in, 1 out rule, if you can master that, it goes really a long way to, number 1, building a more tidy home, well-organized kind of habit. Number 2, it's seamless, right? It's not stressful, it's not overwhelming. And chances are you're probably, once you build this 1 in, 1 out rule, chances are you're going to be like me and like many of the clients that I work with, and it's going to be 1 in, 3 to 5 out, until eventually your home essentially entails the stuff that you love, want, or need. Clutter obviously will naturally make its way back into your home. We're human, we're alive, we're gonna bring things in. The most important thing is to have a system for how we get stuff out of our home on a consistent basis so they don't overstay their welcome. All right. Habit number 3, and this might be hard for some folks, it's to focus on just buying needs and eliminating purchasing wants for the next 60 days. So feel free, obviously, buy the food, buy the toilet paper, buy things that your kids need. Focus on your needs and eliminate your wants. Eliminate the, ooh, the sweater looks nice, when you already have 20 sweaters at home, that'll do. Eliminate the, ooh, the silverware looks nice, when you have perfectly good silverware at home. Include being, swayed by the TikTok shop. I absolutely love TikTok. I honestly, sometimes I'm like, especially when I'm incredibly stressed and something pretty like pops up for me, and they really know how to get you. And it's easy kind of to add to cart and check out, or the same thing with Amazon. But if you can, just for 60 days, stick to just buying needs and eliminating buying wants. This is a wonderful micro habit to build, especially as you are decluttering your home. The last thing you want when you're making the effort, when you're spotting and tossing, when you're doing 1 to 1 or 1 to 3, is to now bring more stuff into your home. One of the things that I hear in my community a lot is, Margo, I am decluttering, but I feel like I'm not making progress. Now, there's a lot of reasons for why we don't see progress, right? It could be we're sporadically decluttering. It could be we're just moving clutter from one space to the next. But one of the biggest reasons is as we're getting clutter out of the house, we are rewarding ourselves by bringing more clutter into the house. And this is why you're never going to feel any kind of progress or impact. And it's just not worth your time to even declutter. So commit to, first of all, it saves you money. Like, can we just talk about that? Right now, the holiday season just passed, and like we spend a lot of money. If you're like me and you holiday shop and big family, kids, all of that stuff, you know, your bank account will thank you by putting a pause on buying needs. But as you are decluttering, as you're on your decluttering journey, especially if your goal is to achieve a well-organized, tidy, easy to clean home, the last thing you want to do is to bring stuff more in. So for the next 60 days, I encourage you to just focus on decluttering, focus on getting stuff out of your house, and don't bring anything in unless it's a need. Let me know which one of these micro habits you're going to start with first. As always, good luck on your decluttering journey, and remember to be good to yourself.